Hey, everybody, we're here. Education, Smeducation. This is episode 7, lucky number, episode 7, coming off a delicious Christmas break. We're recording this on the 29th of December. I had a fantastic Christmas, thanks to a couple clean COVID tests. Got to hang out with my mom. I drank a lot of red wine. I found out that if you drink enough red wine, you wake up with a headache. I had no idea. I was like, oh, they give you this stuff at church. This is good to go. You're fine. You can drink as much as you want and you feel like $1 million. Not the case. I'll tell you who probably feels like $1 million because he looks like $1 million. The Headmaster, Ken Hamlett. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, I don't know why I had to do the Fonz finger guns for the.
It was amazing. That was great. That was like for our soccer fan listeners. That was like Robert Firmino for the old Liverpool Scousers. That means nothing to you, does it?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yep, Scousers. Yep, that sounds like a type of potato.
So Liverpool, they're. In a lot of football clubs throughout the world, they don't have a nickname like we do in America. So they're just Liverpool Football Club. But people from Liverpool, those are Scousers. And they have like their own little accent. And I could do another whole show about what I've taught myself about soccer since every Detroit sports team decided to suck. That's really... what I feel.
It's been like a lifelong thing. Well, I won't say lifelong. It's been since 2001 and forward. Y'all have been just bad.
That's not true at all. Since 2001, we have won an NBA title. We have made it to 2 World Series, and we've won a Stanley Cup. So
you're right.
Dare. With 2 Stanley Cups since then. So don't you dare.
Right.
But the last 2 years, every team decided to rebuild at the same time. I've gotten into soccer. I'm currently wearing a Glasgow Celtic FC away top that my mom got me for Christmas. So we say thank you to Mary Ellen. And we also say thank you to our guest. Today we are joined by a fantastic comic book writer. Our first comic book writer. He has no connection to the education community. That's okay. This is a man that I enjoy talking to immensely. This is a guy who I hung out with incessantly when I lived in Minneapolis. Our houses were mere blocks away from each other. This is back when he was doing stand-up comedy. He doesn't do that anymore. Why would you? There's no places to do it. But we got him. He's here. He's ready to talk. He's brimming. I'm going to keep this intro going as long as I can as I see him purse his lips and put his tongue in his bottom like he's got a big old chaw. Eliot Rahal's here. What's up, buddy?
Oh, wow. I think I went in and out of consciousness listening to Mike talk about sports. Hey, Mike, I got a meeting here. Where are you in Michigan? Where are you from in Michigan, Mike? Oh, yeah. Is it right here?
That's exactly I'm giving him the middle finger. I think that was one of the first jokes I wrote in stand-up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. People always want you to go here. I always tell them I'm here. It was a very.
No, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for Ken. Did you know that Mike texted me to be on the show by saying, "Hey, somebody fell out last minute. Can you do this?" Which that's
pretty.
Boy, what a way to make a boy feel welcome.
Well, here's what happened. I asked you to do it on Christmas. And that
legally, I'm not allowed to say no to anybody on Christmas.
You can't. You can't say no to anyone on Christmas. And then someone fell out, and then I said, "Hey, let's just do this now." I wish there was another story that makes me seem like less of a dirtbag.
You could have lied. You could have lied, Mike.
I could have just lied. Here's the question.
You could have said you bumped somebody for me. That would be the better thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
I honestly, I'm just happy to talk to you, Michael, and meet a new friend, Ken.
Thank you.
Now, here, this will prove. You went to school, right? You went to school as a child?
I did. Yeah.
Okay,
Hope
good.
so.
How did you like it when you were a kid?
Yeah, do you want? Are we starting all the way back, or what? Or what do you want me?
Just your general impression. Whatever you want to talk about.
Once I hit puberty, school got pretty bad for me emotionally,
Okay.
and then college was good until until I had a mental breakdown, and then and then then there's the school of life, man. And that's been fine.
Eliot Rahal, everybody. That's the show this week.
You're welcome. All right, this has been the best Al-Anon meeting I've ever been to. I'll tell you what.
My favorite thing about Eliot is he'll accidentally do a little bit of a Chicago accent, hear himself doing it, and then crank it all the way to 15. That's the term of it. When you were a little guy, we'll go all the way back. When you were a little guy, what did you like about it?
Oh, I was just a little, I've always been a soft boy, and like, I liked, I was just a nerd. I was a geek. I love, when the teacher would come and they'd have a fun assignment, like I'd get really into it. Like it's, you're young and you're at that age in your life where it's cool to like things and you're not being judged for liking things. And I enjoyed that. And then also, my home was not fun to go home to. And so like school was a nice escape for me. I'm always been a head in the clouds kind of kid, and grade school is perfect for that. Middle school is different. I didn't like it. Puberty hits, right?
Yeah.
And you're worried about what people think about you. You become self-conscious and then into high school, that trend continued. And I had I grew up in I don't want to get too much into it because these people are still alive, but it wasn't fun going home sometimes. And but that affected me in a way that now that I'm 32, I really see what it was, because it made me mean. I was angry and I didn't know why I was angry, and like nobody gave me the tools to talk about those emotions. And then my family situation got better, and then all of a sudden I became a much more positive person, and it's crazy how that works. And the one thing I'll say about high school and middle school is that I totally understand how fascism works now, right?
Yeah.
And because of
for sure.
I totally get it, right? I totally understand how the Nazis were able to do what they did, because like in the hierarchy of kids, I was you had the kids who were always made fun of, and since children can be very cruel, usually those kids had special needs or something else was happening, and they were just the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I was right above those kids, right? And like they, as a good friend of once named Dan Ronan called me Smelly at Gay Balls. I was called Smelly at Gay Balls throughout high school. I was called Jelliot. I was called a whole sequence of names, but I discovered like, oh, don't defend anybody because then they're just going to come after you, right? And so like really high school for me until senior year was an exercise in like laying fucking low. You know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense. And I was super mad as a teen and as a tween as well. And I just there's a lot of things I just didn't understand. And I started growing body hair in 6th grade. And that's not, like, looking back now, I probably looked like an undercover cop or something like that. It probably looked.
I'm sure you did. Yeah. You were probably the same height too. And
oh my God, I have been 5'7" since 2001. I guarantee.
So you were a mutant in middle school with fucking giant big broad and hair everywhere.
Yeah.
And then
no, like I've probably mentioned here, I played center on the basketball team, which is not the position that a 5'7" white guy plays.
No, not normally.
Yeah, they're usually on the bench in a suit.
Usually those white guys are from Croatia.
Yeah. The Serbian gentleman who gets to do that.
He's the guy on the side throwing the towel going, "What are you looking at, ref? What are you looking at?"
I've got clipboards. I'm setting up the chairs so we can get in a circle. Those are things that the 5'7" white.
Lots of Gatorade bottles.
Always talking about. That's right, and fundamentals. Always talking about fundamentals.
The importance of hitting your free throws. That is what the 5'7" white guy excels in. But I was lucky to also have a lot of different, not a lot, but I had enough different ways to get my anger out. Did you have any ways to get your anger out when you were going through stuff like that? Or did you kind of find your own ways to kind of get that same sort of catharsis?
No, I didn't, for a variety of reasons. So my anger manifested in me being mean and shitty. And it's like, it's honestly like something that still like haunts me to this day. You know what I mean? Like I'll have a panic attack and like apologize to somebody for something I said 20 years ago. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're not thinking about that all the time? Cool. Yeah. Awesome."
I have the same exact thing. And the pandemic and quarantine has just been a real marathon for my memory. And I'm like remembering weird things I said to people when I was 12, and just like, I'll just wake up in the middle of the night sweating and cringing. And Mallory will be like, what's going on? I was like, Emily Norton needs to know that I am sorry.
Right.
It's like,
she's not thinking about I need to burden her. I need to burden her right now.
I would like to make this her problem. my neuroses.
I get it.
If there was something that you could have done, looking back now, with the we have this beautiful thing called hindsight. What would you have done to get yourself out of that angry spot? Is there any way you would have wanted to channel that energy?
I mean, I just to not like, a lot of that comes from one, puberty, two,
there's only so much honestly.
There's only so many. Two, we do not teach boys the necessary tools of how to deal with their emotions. And that's the thing I really believe in. It's usually just don't hit people, and that's about it, And then
when you were a kid, sorry to cut you off, but when you were a kid, did you have don't start a fight, but if someone else starts a fight, finish it? Did you have that?
I was told that, but I've never been in a fight. I was always able to use my big mouth to get out of it, That's
kind of how I was too. I was always able to just that, and then I came close several times. But do you remember a specific incident where you were super close to getting punched? Is that how you say it, Ken? Is it punched or punched?
I think it's punched.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, I can't remember. I mean, with my friend Mark, we were, I remember like pushing him out of anger, and I felt bad about that. But the thing I would tell kids, or like myself, it's like, to not be afraid of who you are, like to like a lot of anger comes from fear, right? Like fear to like open up your heart or like show passion about something. And we grew up also, I mean, it's very different now. Gen Z is very different now. Gen Z is a lot more accepting of people who are passionate, but like we grew up in a time where like if you were like really into acting or like really into anything really that wasn't like considered like acceptable or normal, like by whomever that authority was in your community, like you were bullied relentlessly for it. Like having passion made you a target, and like I think that's the thing I would tell like younger me is like, listen, you're gonna throw your life away doing this shit anyway. You might as well just start and like get a head start on it,
Yeah. Well, I feel like we grew up because we're the same age. I think you're probably 6 months older than me. But yeah, it was like this weird mixture of Gen Xers were getting a little older, and then Iraq happened, and it was just like everything was like this weird binary where you're either a terrorist or a patriot, or you're either a jock or you're not. You're contributing, you're not. You're with us or against us. And I think if you look at the top of the American social structure, that's still definitely in play where you can, if you're not with us, you're against us, and on some levels. But I think for the younger people, they are much more reticent.
They're over it.
Yeah, they're over it, and I think they also understand a spectrum way better than I did.
Yeah. Way better. I got 19-year-old brothers, and like, my criticism to the Gen Z generation is that they parallel Gen X a lot, and in this sort of like withdrawn kind of like nihilism. But I think that's a product of youth also. Yeah. But like,
it's really fun to not care too. That's what
it's really fun to not care. But the thing is that they also don't care who you are as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like they legitimately, and they've been inundated with so much media, and it's the most diverse generation of kids ever. Like they just don't want to fucking have an argument about it. They're like, you are who you are. Like, it's very nice.
It is nice, but there's just I just want them all to watch Seinfeld. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's all like, you guys should just all watch. No, I don't care about that.
Well, you can't be mean to them. That's the thing I've noticed is like, like if you be mean to one of them and you really go at it and you really dig into them, they fucking shatter like glass. And like, don't do that. People listen.
Why are you being mean to kids?
I'm not.
You're going around to high schools just like, what's up, dipshit? Crap.
To my little brothers, to my little brothers. But also I do that because they need to be activated.
They need to learn.
Like, we need to create an army of generational youth to take over the boomers, right? Like that's what we need to do.
Guys, the sooner the boomer, boy, oh boy, thumbs down. I think they stink, right, fellas?
Hey, AARP. See you later. I don't know. We can stop.
I pull off my mask. I'm 80.
Wow.
Hello. It's me, Mike O'Keefe Reagan.
Oh no!
Somebody, my famous character.
Everybody, lock up your jelly beans, everyone.
Here we go. I'm gonna make a Star Wars.
Okay.
The only thing trickling down is the pee on the front of my pants. Ronald Reagan, Mike O'Keefe.
The only thing trickling down is his pee, because when you're older, Your penis doesn't work as well. I have had this. I sit when I pee now.
Oh my God, really? Do you really?
Oh yeah, big time.
That's fun.
Big time. Big time.
I get the bullying
Listen,
now.
hey. I also agree. Yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing. I do too.
Listen,
at night.
You don't want to clean it up. If I pee on the floor, I got to clean it up, right? And I'm not gonna fucking make my wife clean it up. Yeah, I got to clean it up. So I just sit while I pee, go on my phone. It's nice.
We're trying to sell our apartment right now. Same exact thing. I am sitting down almost every time because I don't want to clean it, and I know we're gonna have a showing that could happen at any time.
And there's gonna be somebody that goes to the bathroom and goes, "Is this pee on the ground?" Knock the price down $10,000.
Yeah, that's $10,000 that I could use to buy more soccer jerseys.
A man might not notice these things, but a woman sure as hell will. You know.
Yeah. Right, fellas.
Ladies.
We've reached the dude chat part of the show. Welcome to dude chat, fellas. Dudes, question 1: why are we such bros?
Come on, guys. Guys, you can be bros or you can be gentlemen. Which is it gonna be? I sound like I'm on the fucking Bachelor right now. This is a nightmare.
For sure. You definitely got a rose.
That's not the only reason this is a nightmare, though. You cried on the podcast earlier, Eliot, and we were meaning to talk to you. I'm kidding.
We bleeped it out, though. It's fine.
It was a 2-minute bleep. It was. We're kidding, buddy. We love you.
It's fine.
Anyway, just so you know, Mark Maron couldn't do the show. That's why you're here.
That's fine. Is he too busy smoking cigarettes and living in his garage?
So your high school stinks. You go to college. Why? Your parents tell you to. You got to. If you don't go to college, you're going to catch hell. What's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, I was privileged enough to grow up in a community like that. You know.
Yeah. Wait, Hinsdale?
Yeah. And
best Oasis on the entire Illinois interstate.
That place is it's hard for me to go back there. My brother lives in the suburbs now, but a different one. But it's you know, I mean, it wasn't fun growing up there, and like it's also it's a place of extraordinary ignorance and racism, right? And like it's just, I mean, I remember growing up and they were calling me a terrorist when I was a kid, and like I didn't think about it really because I was like, oh, they're talking to me, you know, but like, you know, it's just not whenever DuPage County used to be a part of Cook County. I'm going to get really in the weeds here. And when they were able to withdraw from Cook County, it became a nightmare. And like, yeah, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I'm going to your current college, DePaul University for my undergrad. Yeah. And
just to go back to what you were saying before, though, I have a weird time going back to not my hometown because I grew up in Ann Arbor, which is
Ann Arbor rural. That's where fucking the Stooges are from, right?
Yeah, Stooges and Andrew WK are two.
Oh, I didn't know Andrew WK.
Andrew WK went to the high school that was across the street from my grade school.
That's rad. That's super rad.
He's the best. Yeah, he's done like Andrew WK has done so many like cool benefits for like local like youth outreach groups and like activism groups in Ann Arbor.
I love that though. But I love that. Ann Arbor is a real place. It's a college town, right?
Yeah.
Like the problem with the Illinois suburbs, all of them.
It's
every
the same.
Single
Detroit
Illinois.
suburbs are the same way. If you go
if
you go 3 exits north on M14,
you're
nowhere.
Might as
well be in fucking Arkansas. Like,
well,
right.
Isn't Evanston's a suburb, but it's like freaking. I mean, there's Northwestern is up there, and it's like close enough to the city.
You can get to Evanston on the seafront.
They call that like urban adjacent, right? Like same with Oak Park River Forest.
Yeah.
Like Oak Park River Forest is the blue line running to it, right? And
yeah. And you can get the red line to Evanston, or the purple line or whatever.
Purple and yellow.
Line.
Yeah. Yellow's Skokie, but Skokie's a completely different kettle of fish. Skokie's like.
But Skokie has its own identity, though.
Yeah.
Like the issue of the suburbs fundamentally for me is that there is zero identity other than like white supremacy. It's for real. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Call me brave, but I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I always thought the idea of white supremacy is very silly, because it's just
Nantucket shorts and people talking about their bank accounts.
For sure. And there's no when you say there's no overarching white people. There's just white. There's
but
there's no white community.
The term white literally expanded in the year 1969, to include Irish people and Polish people. That was what they did. And,
they were excluded before. White,
Irish
they were.
Yeah,
they were. It's crazy, but they were.
We had our own. Irish people had their own neighborhoods. JFK getting elected president was like a huge deal.
Right.
The most handsome person in the country getting elected.
And look what they did to him.
And look what these are conversations you could have with my grandma today.
Oh yeah.
Look what they did. He was Catholic. Look what they did to him.
And they still didn't learn their lesson. We got another papist in the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
anything I just said I don't mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, but any sort of even it is my dad and my grandfather had to deal with weird people hating Irish people, but that doesn't compare to anything that any black or brown person has ever gone through. But there used to be a different thing where there was a very distinct divide between Irish people, Polish people, yada yada yada.
How do you even tell? How do you just walk up to you're just
you're just not allowed into the
you're not all the way white. I can tell.
You're a different kind of white than me.
You're just not allowed
in your dirty Lithuanian eyes.
You're just not allowed into the country club. That's really what it means.
That's really what it was.
My old man. My old man, he's Lebanese, right? And he grew up as an immigrant son, and my dad is a legitimate crazy person, right? If you call my dad brown, he'll go whoa, hold on a minute. I'm olive, and it's what's happening right now, Dad? That's how.
Popeye's girlfriend, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. What are you, Popeyes? Yeah, exactly. But so there used to be this thing in Ohio, in Cleveland. My dad grew up in Cleveland, and there used to be this thing called the Blue Book, right?
God,
but it was the Blue Book was in the Blue Book was written all of the names of high class Ohio society, right? And of course all these names are white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. My grandfather, he couldn't get in, right? And neither could my father, because of whatever they were, right, or perceived as. I'm sorry, say that one more again.
Said too many syllables. Couldn't put that name in there.
Too many syllables, and they're too loud too. Arabs were too loud. They're just too fucking loud, and but it's an interesting experience, because my grandfather converted from Arab Catholic to become Christian Scientist, because that's where all the rich white people had money, right? Yeah. And he used religion as a social navigating tool, not as a cultural thing that meant something, right? Like, so like it's just my dad married my dad married my mom specifically because she was white. He will never admit this to my face, but like that's pretty much why he did it.
Your dad's from Ohio, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, a lot of choices then.
Yeah, that's a lot of white people.
Well, yeah, they make them there, you know.
Yeah,
It's like a factory. It's like one of the few factories left in America.
Shout out to Detroit.
Shout out Bobby Firmino. That's well, my parents got married because they were both old. That's yeah. No, my mom had to explain to Mallory over Christmas that I was born when my mom was 40. And she was like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. My mom's 71.
What do they call it? They call you a miracle baby? What kind of baby are you? They have a name for babies like you. Mistake? Is that
Oopsies? Oopsies is the one.
Yeah.
They were just gonna run off into the sunset with all the money imaginable. Then, what's up? College and grad school. How's it going? So looking, if you could go back and tell 16-year-old pissed off high school Eliot, what would you say to that pissed off 16-year-old now as the man you are now?
Oh man, so much I would want to say. You know, there's just so much I'd want to say. But one is like, yeah, don't be afraid to be who you are, but also everything you are taught is a lie. You know, to some degree. Like, and I'm not talking about what they teach you in school, but even what they teach you in school,
I've had to
is a lie.
I've retaught myself a lot of American history over the last 6
years. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's been incumbent on all of us to do this, right? But like, you know, I would just say, like, I don't know. I'm a big believer in the power of, like, I'm veering into Joel Osteen territory right now, but like I'm a big believer in the power of grace, and I'm a big believer in the power of love, right? And like, you know, love people with an open heart and like be unrelenting about it, right? Like be unrelenting about it. And then also, you don't need to compromise, right? Like I feel as though there's a debate going on right now where, like, you know, especially in politics, where it's like, I am a very left-leaning person, but like there's a debate person right now going like, oh, well, now the left is going to compromise. But it's like, no, like what we have learned over history for the people doing the work is like, no, you can never compromise. You take what you can get, but like you can not compromise and still be victorious. Like, because like, you know, it's just a fucking, like, it's a whole thing. But like, I mean, that's what I like. You don't love unrelentingly, you know, don't compromise who you are. You don't need to like there's I think a false conversation that is created where like compromise is a good solution, when really compromise is only a good solution for the people who already were holding power to begin with. You know, and I mean, but I think it comes back to loving unrelentingly and taking people like who they are, and like, you know, that doesn't mean you have to let everybody into your life, but like, you know, love unrelentingly. And then also, like, on a personal note, learn to love yourself, right? Like I still have a very difficult time with that process. It's very, very hard, but like,
definitely,
you know, I mean, it's something you need to do. Otherwise you can't really help people if you aren't in a position where you love yourself. If you really want to be the change in the world, like, you have to have that confidence or that security in yourself that like, no, what I am doing matters and I am not a monster, you know. Sorry if that was
no, that was that was perfect. No, that was exactly what I was yeah, that's what I was hoping you'd say. And we fall pretty similarly along the same lines politically. And I feel like American politics is set up for it to kind of be a pendulum in a certain way, where if it goes all the way one way, which it did for 4 years, that it really needs to swing all the way the other way too, and then it will eventually even out. And
what if, bro? What if, bro? There is no pendulum, and it's all made up bullshit, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone in the government is a lizard person.
Right.
It's true.
That's
actually.
what I'm saying.
Everyone knows
find
that.
I saw it on
find
YouTube.
the zippers.
Yeah.
Find the zippers.
They all have really scaly tongues, and they love laying out in the sun and taking naps. They're lizard people. But I think as much as I rooted for Joe Biden, I did a lot of work for the Joe Biden campaign. So much so that I am very proud to announce on this podcast that I have been named the ambassador to Flavortown. I did it.
Whoa! That's huge. What an honor.
Thanks, man.
Listen, all I'm going to say about Joe Biden is that he is a man who wants to die loved. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't like this whole, hey, we got to reach across the aisle. They pissed across the aisle for 4 years. Give everyone $8,000 checks. Like, it's just gross.
Everything's gross. We don't need to talk about it. I think we all agree. I'm sure people listening to you agree.
Oh yeah, it's to the point where it everyone, thanks to Twitter algorithms and Instagram algorithms and Facebook algorithms, everyone is just in their own vortex. Yeah, they're in their own echo chamber vortex of whatever they believe. And if anyone found their way past the 100,000 more popular podcasts, past like TV shows, terrestrial, and they found us, I'm pretty sure that they like that.
But what if you're the voice that changes some fucking weird 14-year-old's life, right? Honestly, what if you two guys like you direct sound waves into some 15-year-old who just smoked a joint for the first time, and then he's like, whoa, dude, think about it.
You can be nice to people? Whoa!
Whoa!
That's a fun character.
Oh, wait, I can lock my door when I jerk off? What?
Oh, wait, you can tell a joke that's not about eating a piece of shit?
What?
I think, yeah. Honestly,
it's not my fault. It's not my fault that my parents got divorced, even though my parents told me it was my fault. What?
Wait,
that one. I think that one went too personal. Sorry.
Even though I failed both of my parents to the tune of $100,000 each, it's not my fault that they got divorced.
What?
Even though I posed as a hot young Cuban pool boy and seduced my own mother online and then emailed the transcripts to my dad, that
still my
doesn't mean that
That's a good Lifetime movie, though. Like, that's a great Lifetime movie premise.
Dude,
and that
I love Lifetime movies. If I could make the rest of my life making Lifetime movies, I absolutely would. 100%.
The Lifetime movie where the kid catfishes his own mom and then emails it to his dad. That Lifetime movie is called 2 Christmases.
I love it. 2 Christmases.
Thank you very much. Good night. That's the show.
Oh, that's the clip right there.
That's the clip. Yeah. Clip. Put that one on there, Brando.
You should call this 2 Christmases.
Yeah.
My favorite one was A Secret Between Two Friends. Did you guys ever see that one?
No. Dazzle us. Yeah, and then we'll talk about comic books and then we'll do the quiz. But dazzle us with Secret Between Two Friends.
The Secret Between Two Friends was about a new cheerleader who, a new volleyball player who moved from Chicago to Seattle with her divorced father.
Ooh, and she was new. Opposite of Ken.
Opposite of me.
Right. Yeah. Oh, Seattle to Chicago. Very interesting.
No
I
divorce.
don't know.
No divorced father though. So
Interesting.
hey,
So it's like the opposite of
if I'm
Sleepless in
lucky.
Seattle.
Yeah.
A secret between two friends is she's lonely. She meets a new friend who's the queen of the volleyball court, and turns out the secret between two friends was bulimia. And yeah, yeah. And then one of the girls gets hit by a car, and then she gets hit by a car, and then she dies in the ER because her heart was too weak because she was throwing up so much. Her what I don't know what the word would be, but basically that she was like her heart was weak as a result of the bulimia. So bulimia kills you, and not I'm not disparaging the seriousness of bulimia, but it is truly a great film. Ryan Reynolds is in it.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah, he wears a puka shell necklace.
Well, pitch us one right now based on. We'll give you two details, and you can pitch us one. How's that sound?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm gonna put my hands up like this.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that.
Whatever you need to do to get the blood flowing. It's a CEO of a cereal company. He's the CEO of Kellogg's, and he doesn't have enough time to date.
Mm-hmm.
Run with that.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just putting the ingredients on the table.
All right.
I'm the
Okay.
chef, baby.
So he's, somebody starts creating those little games on the back of boxes, right? Like the old puzzle games and stuff like that. Well, this puzzle game is to unlock a certain millionaire's heart, right?
Oh boy.
And and somebody puts a cipher on the back of the newest brand of cereal, and whoever can solve it gets to win a date with the CEO. But turns out he's gay.
Oh,
yeah. But he can still have a date, and then it turns out to be a very forward-thinking relationship about being who you are.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
you, Mike.
And I think that's great.
No, that's good. That's really good.
It's called Sometimes the Prize Isn't in the Box.
Oh.
This is our new two-man improv tour. We go around the country. You put out the plot, and then I come in with a real hot title.
You come in there with the log line and the title.
Yeah.
I like
it.
That's perfect.
I think this is a new podcast. I think that's the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you guys are still doing this one.
What a question. I don't know why any of us are doing anything, buddy.
Oh no, I'm so close to throwing myself off a cliff. No.
Well, it's
okay.
a good thing you live in Minnesota. That's a very
yeah.
The land of 1,000 cliffs. That's what they call it.
That's right. That's what they call it. Every beachhead is a cliff.
Yeah. My favorite cliff. I gotta go Clavin. That's my number one.
Oh, Cliff Clavin.
That's the
Cliff
mailman
Clavin
from Cheers.
That's right. Fuck. I don't know. Clifford. Does that count?
Big Red Dog.
The big red cliff. Yeah, for sure.
Man, that's like a cliff. You jump off the back of that dog. That's like a cliff.
Could you? I've always had an idea where they have to. Clifford dies, and they just build a giant pyre to burn him, and it's like a kind of like a Wicker Man thing where the entire fucking town shows up.
Yeah, okay.
They can't bury him. What are they gonna do? They're gonna fucking bury him? They don't have the room. They're on an island, right? So they burn him like he's an old Norse god.
Love it.
That is the most depressing episode of Clifford ever.
Yeah. It'd be great.
What's that smell?
What's that smell, Emily Elizabeth? Oh, it's your best fucking friend.
You know, you guys, have I told you guys yet that I half-heartedly pitched that for my dad's funeral?
No.
Of like a Viking funeral?
I said it as a joke, and that's the time to make jokes, is when you're in the meeting with the Undertaker for your dad's funeral.
Well, you're Irish, aren't you? You know, you're allowed to make a joke.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Also, the Vikings and the Irish, close neighbors. Yeah. And by that I mean they ransacked our island for many years, and then the British came and ransacked it. We got a long history of getting ransacked.
And you're fine now.
To live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it's great now. It's a wonderland.
No,
it really is.
I didn't mean that. I don't want to sound ignorant. I'm aware. It's
legit great now. There's a gay prime minister, state-funded abortions, the first country to legalize gay marriage throughout the entire country via a vote.
Really?
Yeah, it's a liberal paradise. It's great.
Do y'all have guns though?
No, none. 0 guns.
Boo!
I don't want
unless I can get very angry and kill me and my entire family in one night. I don't want to deal with it.
Anyway, we were at the meeting or whatever, and the guy, the Undertaker, who a couple different times mentioned, I can't believe I remember this, but in the meeting to like plan the funeral for my dad, he mentioned that he had gastric bypass surgery.
Oh.
And like said, oh, back when I was a lot heavier, I had gastric bypass surgery. I would be able to do X, Y, and Z. We're just like, what? I do not care about this. But at the beginning, I said, okay, here's what we want to do.
Sounds like he really wanted you to validate his choice to get that surgery.
I wasn't.
At the most like odd time.
Yeah, very, very weird.
I know
this is a sponsored ad.
Yeah. I know this about your father's remains, and I do appreciate. But does these priest robes make me look fat or what?
Like, you notice how I'm wearing these pants right now, but take a look at these much larger pants. I'm holding with the waist down.
Me and Jared from Subway got two things in common. I'll tell you what.
Jesus Christ.
Good Lord.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
not
fine.
my fault.
I love it.
I didn't do either of those things.
I'm not saying it, and that's why I love it. Oh, no, but the first thing I said was, all right, so do you guys provide the flaming arrows, or do I have to bring flaming arrows? How are we going to light this thing up? And he just said, what? And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm really sad. And that was the end. I'm sorry. I'm really sad. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm this is very difficult for me. Yeah.
I grieve with a very esoteric humor, my friend.
Well, I mean, honestly though, like, yeah, I don't blame you. That's
What are you gonna do? I honestly, I killed at my dad's
eulogy.
I destroyed.
That you did. That you did.
It was boy, oh boy, man. If
should have filmed it.
I know, right? I didn't even get a tape.
Yeah, you should have sent that to the
bookers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear Mr. O'Brien. My dad's last wish was that I did your little television program.
Yeah. Who used to do the comedy bookings for Letterman? Who was that guy? I forget his name.
Oh, Eddie Brill was his name.
Eddie Brill. I wanted to call him Eddie Pepitone. And I'm like, that's not right. That's not right.
It's a good comedian. Eddie Brill doesn't make any decisions anymore, so we can say, hey, speaking of decisions, how'd you get into comic books very quickly? And then we'll do the quiz and then we'll get out of here.
Oh, I started reading comic books in high school. And
so you lied to me. That's how you dealt with your anger, was these comic books.
Late in high school, junior and senior year, but that's also after things in my life got a little bit better. But I mean, I started reading them, and I was an avid reader in college. I was a intern at Marvel Comics, and I'll say this: the benefits of stand-up are, one is that it teaches you how to write and create for yourself, right? But also the thing about stand-up that is really important is that, like, you have to go just do it, right? No one's gonna do it for you. You just have to go fucking do it, and like you just throw yourself in the deep end there. And so, like, those two values that stand-up taught me um, apply to any other art form, really. I mean, like, you just kind of start doing it and you throw yourself into it. And I it is my favorite way to read. And every year I fall more in love with it. But like, I just started making comics, and then I just didn't stop. And then I reached a point in my life where I was spreading myself a little too thin, and I wasn't doing anything good, right, all the way good. So I made a decision, and I would love to get back on stage one day, but like the lifestyle wasn't what I wanted. And also what I love about comics is that when it's done, it's fucking done. You know what I mean? Like, it's done. Like, this thing you put 6 months, 7 months into energy, it's done. I can hold it in my hand. I think the mistake of all young creatives is that when they have an accomplishment, they expect more to come from that accomplishment. And I think that's the trap fall. Like, let's say you wanted to do CYSK. I don't know if that's still the hot show in Chicago. I don't know what the hottest show in Chicago is still, right? But like, I don't know. I'm speaking from a point of ignorance here.
Yeah, I think once I've done the show 9 times, it's not the hot show in Chicago anymore.
Right. Fair enough. You know what I mean? Like, in your head, pick the hot show, and like, you do it and you do a good job, and then you think something might break or something might be different, but in reality, nothing's different, right? And like, that is I think the trap fall of being a young creator or a creator in general. And that is a lesson you need to learn. But like, I don't know. I love storytelling. I love telling stories. And then also, the biggest reward for me is working with people. I love working with people. Like, you shoot off your words to somebody, and then they come at you with this breathtaking art.
Yeah.
It really it's such a human process, where you really like, wow, somebody put a lot of fucking work into this, and like it makes you feel closer to people. So, and I've been doing it for 10 years, and I'm pleased to say that for the past 2 years, I've been doing it full time. I was able to quit my job, and like, it's still a hustle. It's still a struggle. Very similar kind of hustle to stand up. Very small world, But I'm nobody famous yet, but I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of everybody who I've worked with too. Sure.
Yeah, and and the way from what I remember of being in Minneapolis, like, I remember when you were kind of like coming up with the idea for the Paybacks, and the way you would conceptualize everything and kind of put everything into motion really did fascinate me. And I thought it was so cool the way you would even talk about it and kind of just put everything into motion. I always thought that was really impressive.
I appreciate that. But Ken, are you a stand-up as well?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys both do it. Like, when you're thinking about your set, and like, you're thinking about, there's moments in stand-up where it's every movement you make, the way you talk, how you talk, the allowance for improvisation, and then the way you structure your set, where like, I want it to get really high here, and then I want to bring it down here. Like, you're controlling emotion, right?
Mhm.
Like your comedy is drama, right? It's just with a specific result that you want, right? Like that's why comedy writers are such good dramatic writers, because comedy is drama. It's just with a specific intention. Like just like horror is drama, Like I think coming from a genre like the way you guys do and the way you think about how a live performance is going to operate, it it makes you really critically think about what you're doing on stage, and you become a lot more. I mean, do you guys have moments of self-awareness on stage where like it's almost like an outer body experience almost, but like at the same time you're in complete control, like, but that's writing though. It's just writing for a live medium, right? For a performance, but it is writing. What you're doing is writing, and like those skills that I learned doing stand-up, because I was a cast member at the Lincoln Lodge, and like I did stand-up pretty seriously, and like those skills translate integrally to writing, because it's all it is creating emotion and connecting with people and finding a way to connect with people. And anytime you do stand-up, you can automatically tell when somebody's being self-indulgent and full of shit. And the same is true with writing. Like, you can hear an Aaron Sorkin play or a script a mile away. You can hear these things coming if you train your ears. And like, I'm a firm believer that stand-up comedy is like one of the best training grounds for like how to learn what is good and what is bad, because everyone starts with everyone being bad, and being good is an anomaly, right? Like being good is like a unicorn. Like if you're doing a 3-hour fucking long open mic and it's dead the entire night, and then some guy comes on stage or some girl or whoever, and they're very good and they're not a crazy person, all of a sudden that's very special.
Yeah, and I think the thing with stand-up that I always try and remember is that you can't have a punchline without a setup. And I think that informs not just, art or writing or anything, but I think that also informs kind of life in a
joke is a story.
Yeah,
a joke
definitely.
is a story. Even a one-liner is a story. It's just a short story.
Yeah, about bacon or whatever.
Right. Who gives a shit? I have literally written stories that like don't deserve the light of day because they're so fucking bad. But yet here we are,
Oh, I mean, is there a moment in comics where like everything kind of clicked for you and you were like, okay, this is like, here we go?
No, I mean, no. But that's something to do with my own imposter syndrome and all that stuff. But the moments that I enjoy most, like, what is the moment that you enjoy the most about stand-up? The act of doing stand-up. Like, what is the thing that when you're doing it, what is the thing that you love the most?
Oh, I have a very specific answer to this. It is the 0.75 seconds right before I say the first punchline that I know is going to work. If I could live in that minuscule microscopic moment, I would be happy forever. That moment is the most pure thing in life to me.
When you know it's going to hit right before it.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Ken, what about you, Ken?
That's actually super interesting because my moment is after the first laugh, because you're so in control. And then in that moment, right when they laugh, you go, all right, like that's it. Now I got it. Yeah, this is fun now. And that's like that moment. For me, that moment is like nothing else compares to that. Like there's just once you get that first laugh, like once you get control of the room, that moment, there's something about that just like,
it's so special.
It really is.
Yeah, because you're like, I've got this, and it's like you become like your final form, or almost, like for me in comics, it's problem solving, right? Like, because the thing about when you're writing jokes, it's the same in writing comics, where like when you start to write a joke, you're standing at the threshold of the joke and you're looking out onto it, right? But there's a very big difference between writing the joke and then performing the joke, right? And learning where your writing was overwriting and or underwriting and then living in the joke and allowing that moment to become real and connected with the audience. In comics, in writing and in comics, I think there's a similar problem where it's like, oh, you have your plot and your overarching story and your themes and all those things are good, and you can beat out all of those things, and you should do all of that stuff. But there's a really big difference between doing that and then actually walking the road when you're doing the actual work. And my favorite moments are those moments where I need characters to get from point A to point C, and I need them to do it pretty fucking quickly. Because I'm running out of time and I'm running out of space. So that's when you can get really creative. And that's when you can come up with moments of improvisation that like really just like put gas on the fire. And like it's every time I do it, it's just puzzle solving. It's so much fun. It's like, I don't know if I'm being clever, but like that's where I get the greatest joy,
Yeah, I feel the same way with stand-up sometimes, where there's kind of this, I mean, a really reductive term for it would be like the mathematics of finding a joke, but it really is way more of a complicated situation than just, 1 + 1 = 3 or what have you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that special science that is different for every creator, right? And that's what it means to have a voice. Sweet science, yes.
Sweet science.
Sweet science.
Is this on your thing where we do our shoulders?
Yeah, do you want to do a shoulder thing, Elliot?
I'm done.
Attaboy.
I liked it when Ken did it, but not when you did it.
I do it too aggressively.
Yeah,
if I did that on the streets, I would get a ticket for lascivious behavior.
Ooh.
Lascivious, bringing out that master's degree right there, huh?
I'm in grad school, boys.
You think you're fucking better than me? I'll show you.
Well, do you want to show us right now with our big old pop quiz there, Elliot?
I'll try. I'm so bad at stuff, so I'll try. This is gonna be very embarrassing.
So whenever we do these things, and we do it every week, the response to hey, we have a quiz, it's always I don't know, but what you gonna and then it always ends up being great, so you're gonna be fine.
Great.
Fine. All right, that's fine.
You're gonna be what charity would you like to play for today, my friend?
There's a charity in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, called the Bridge of Youth, which helps out homeless teenagers.
Bridge of Youth, helping out homeless teens. That is very cool. Excited to have them be the recipient of our donation for this. Also, listeners, match our donation. We'll shout you out on the show, and then you will be admitted into the brand new Mike O'Keefe Circle of Admiration.
That's right. And not to really play at home, but it's snowing out there, folks. And it's cold.
It is.
And these kids don't have a safe place to stay,
Yeah.
I say it like that so I'm trying to be fun still.
Exactly. And your donation will help these kids find a place to stay. That's fantastic. But you will also find a place to stay in the Mike O'Keefe Circle of Admiration, baby.
Whoa.
Okay. Since Elliot is a comic book writer, I have come up with a couple comic book questions. Are you up to the task, my friend?
I mean, here I am. So let's do it.
Indeed. Question number 1. Superman's alter ego, Clark Kent, grew up in Smallville, Kansas. He attended church with his mother until he was 14 years old. What was Clark Kent's religion?
Fuck. I mean, I'm going to say Christian.
We'll take that. He's Methodist, but we'll take it.
Was he a Methodist?
He was a Methodist. We'll take it.
Small town. Yeah, Smallville. It's got to be.
I mean, he's not going to be Catholic. I know that.
Definitely not. Not after what they did to my boy Kennedy.
No. They gave him a new hat size. But
and then his brother went on a date, and all hell broke loose.
Life would have been better. But continue.
All right. In Disney's DuckTales.
Oh, fuck.
Who is the criminal gang that's trying to rob Scrooge McDuck of his fortune?
I don't know this. I don't know this. Is it socialism?
Yes. The answer is
okay.
It says here the Beagle Boys, but I think it's socialism.
Yeah. DuckTales is a cartoon, not a comic book, you dipshit.
I Googled comic book trivia, and this was on there.
But also, like, everybody knows that gang was a socialist gang. Like,
yeah,
that's
the
right.
Beagle Boys were socialists. Yeah,
that's right. The only thing I remember for DuckTales is Scrooge McDuck diving into the gold pool that should have killed him. Right?
Yeah, that would fucking
for sure
annihilate you. That would fucking wreck your ass, dude.
What a weird way to die, bro.
Yeah. Here lies Scroogeth McDuckenting. That was his full name.
Why'd you do it that way, man?
Scroogeth McDuckenton is his full name.
Yeah. He's like I think he's like modeled after Carnegie or something like that. He's like Scottish.
It's either Carnegie or
Carnegie was the Scottish one.
Yeah, Carnegie. Yeah. Anyway. What Wolverine? You like Wolverine, Eliot?
Oh, maybe.
Okay. He first appeared in what other superheroes comic book? I'll give you a hint. It was an Avengers.
I know this.
I know you do.
Wait, he first appeared?
Yeah. The first appearance of Wolverine happened in what Avengers comic book?
Well, like Avengers or Captain America? Like an Avenger or the
It was an Avenger.
I'm pretty sure it was Cap, but I don't know. No.
It would be incredible if you got this answer right.
1 second. 1 second.
You can't Google it. That's against the
rules. I'm not doing that. The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
I was just typing for a different reason.
Great job. So far, 3 out of 3. $15. What can you say the name of the charity again? I just like it when you say it more than when I say it.
Oh, the Bridge of Youth.
Bridge of Youth.
Bridge of Youth or Bridge for Youth.
Maybe let's Google that as well. Bridge for Youth. Oh my God. I'm looking at their facility now. This looks marvelous.
Yeah, they do good work.
Hell yeah. This looks amazing. Bridge for Youth. Next time I do Minneapolis, which I do very regularly, we'll give them some merch money. How about that?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we got 2 more. What was the original title for Tales from the Crypt?
Oh shit. I mean, you're talking EC Comics Tales from the Crypt.
Yes, sir.
Not Astonishing Tales. Fucking creepy? No. Strange Tales.
Ooh, it's Crypt of Terror.
Crypt of Terror. No, I didn't know that. Sorry. I will say
you did enough thinking on that one. We're gonna give you that one anyway. That's enough.
No, it's fine. You don't need to give it to me. I'm not as listen. I can talk to you about Bill Gaines and EC Comics all day long, but I don't know the original name. All right. I know I'm a big fan of that stuff though.
Well, we got one more. And this is my favorite one because of the way that the question is framed.
Spider-Man. No,
it is a Spider-Man question. It is a Spider-Man question.
All right.
What silly this is literally copy and pasted off of a comic book trivia website. What silly Spider-Man villain was dressed up as a big fat pig?
What?
Apparently there's a Spider-Man villain. He was really silly. He was dressed up like a big old pig.
So his villainy isn't pig related. He was just dressed up like a pig.
I think so.
Who is the silliest Spider-Man villain I can think of? I mean, there's Spider-Ham, right? But that is technically Peter Porker is Spider-Man from a different dimension.
Yeah.
It's Razorback.
Oh, nice. Got it. Wow. 5 for 5.
I did it. No one helped me.
Nope. No one helped him at all.
No. Listen. Spider-Man's great. The Punisher appeared in. I thought you were going to ask me where the Punisher appeared first, and then
I don't know. I think
Spider-Man.
The Punisher's is
the bad guy, a villain. The Punisher's a villain.
He's canceled. This Punisher.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't. He doesn't at all. All those blue eyes.
Really
love the Punisher.
Really doesn't care.
Eliot, my friend, my old buddy.
I really feel like I left this quiz on a real C- note here.
No. Well, we will get our grade in a second. We
Okay.
will get our grade from the headmaster, Ken Hamlett, in a second.
Okay.
Before we do that, I would like to personally thank you for coming on the podcast. This was very fun. I really appreciate.
I hope it was
giving us your time. What if someone were to get into the oeuvre, the catalog of Eliot Rahal? Where can they find your comical books, and what would be a good one for them to start with?
So you can find my work at any local comic book shop near you, pretty generally. I'd say a work that is completed that I'm very proud of is a book called Hot Lunch Special. But works that are coming out right now that I'm really proud of, if you like just an action book, something called Bleed Them Dry is up there. But I have a new creator-owned book out right now about a stand-up comedian who undergoes a accident and it changes the course of his entire career. And it's called Knock 'Em Dead.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to read part of that. I'm not a comics guy. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It really nails some of the finer points of stand-up comedy. So yeah, Knock 'Em Dead. And I also I really also enjoyed The Paybacks, which is a book Eliot put out a couple years ago about some superheroes who need to pay off their student loan debt, which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
And relatable.
Very #relatable. But yeah, no, I'm
relatable.
Always working. Also, check out my Archie Comics debut this past couple months. Madam Satan. I wrote a Madam Satan one shot. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Just give me money.
Headmaster Ken Hamlett, as always. What's our grade today? What do we got, buddy?
All right. So for this episode, I loved the deep conversations that we got into.
Probably the deepest one so far, I'd say.
For sure. Deep, like the ocean is blue. I think that's a song lyric.
Deep like the ocean is deep, Ken.
I think it's deep. Yeah, you're probably right. Super good episode. Lots of information to unpack there. I'm giving this one a solid B+. I like this was a good episode.
Hey, yeah, that's
And
really good.
You murdered all of the quiz. So anytime that you can make Mike O'Keefe come out of those pockets, I enjoy it.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I would have been thrilled with a B+. I'm gonna say this is an AP course too, which means it's actually an A.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna go down for your GPA as a 4. So you're good. You're good.
Yeah. That's all that matters. And I got to get into a good college, otherwise, I'm fucked.
Your life's over, buddy.
Yeah. You might as well fucking show yourself now. I'm sorry.
That beautiful Hinsdale Oasis, one of the best.
Oh goodness, yeah. There's a Burger King there.
And Express, they got the whole shot.
Yeah, that's right. Just keep driving. That's my advice. Keep driving until you hit Des Moines. But it was nice to meet you, Ken and Mike. Always good to hear from you, my friend.
As always.
I'm done.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome. And watch KARE 11 News if you're in Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
Eliot's wife is on the news. It's fun. Anyway, you guys are great. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm Mike O'Keefe. I'm at the Mike O'Keefe on all the stuff. Rate, review, subscribe. We've been doing these seven down. I feel good. I'm having fun each time out. We'll see you guys next week. Ass dismissed.